Hey there, it's Patmos, and nice of you to join me for a brand new video with a almost brand new game to the channel. I already did one stream while I'll now start to record this. As you get to see this live on the channel, I'll have done the second stream with this game. But yeah, we're going to do a whole series about it. So let's load up a brand new game. We're going to take all the standard settings, so we're not going to change anything. I'd like to pick my own people though, so let's do that. These are the 4 survivors that we start with. I like to start with Edmund because he's pretty smart. He can do some combat, he can do some cooking, so he's a nice addition to the team. I also like Amber. She's very good at combat. She can construct a lot of stuff and she's smart and physical, so let's take her along with us. Another person I like very much is Lara. She's a very good farmer, and we're going to be needing a lot of food, so having a good farmer around is always good. And I think a guy like Raka is very good. He's very good at construction, and we're going to do a lot of constructing. So these are the 4 people that we take. They all have their bonuses, they all have their malices, but that's okay. We can deal with that. Let's start and let's see what happens. Now, what is this game all about? Well, it's not that hard. Here we are in our escape pod. We're apparently in a spaceship, and now we are going to land on an alien planet, not knowing where we end up, not knowing what's going on, and we'll have to start surviving here. And there we are. Here we are on our planet, stranded, and well, I'm going to pause for a second to not waste too much time, to take a look around. Well, we landed on some sort of ridge, so we can look over and see that there's all these things around. Not so much building space, so we'll have to take that into account, but well, this might also be pretty well or easily defended, so that's also interesting. Here we are with our pod. Can't do anything with it anymore except scavenge it, which is nice. We can get some nice stuff out of it. And now we have to take a look around at the local plant and animal life. As we can see here, some big horned animals. Now, everything is new to us at this stage, so everything you encounter, except for maybe rocks, is something that we have to investigate. So we can see right here that there's a peculiar bush. We can get sticks out of it, but we could also observe it and learn about it. Now those are things that we are actually going to do. So we're going to observe all the life around us, see what it is, see how we can use it, and if we can make it to our benefit maybe. So let's hit a few things that we're going to observe. Now the good thing is when you observe plant life, as soon as they get to know it, we can actually use it. And that means, for instance, if we observe a certain plant, that we can then plant it ourselves and make good use of it. So I like that. So let's unpause. Let's see what they're going to do. Now I also spotted that there is a weapon here. Right there is a weapon. Now Amber is our best combat person, so I'm going to equip that weapon with Amber. Assigning the one that is best with a weapon makes that she can aim faster and do things better that way, so that's interesting. Alright, we've set a few jobs. They're scavenging, they're going to do some observing. So now it's time to set up some sort of a base camp. I think down here the mountain would be interesting. Let's see, what do we have? Well, we can set up a shelter. A scrap metal shelter, which is nice. Now the people can at least sleep with the roof over their head. Of course the entrance is still open, but at least they'll have a nice place. We'll do 4 beds in there. That should be interesting. Alright, now we need to store some of our goods as well. So let's build a stockpile here. I'd like to do it usually somewhat like this. Just build a very long stockpile. Now this one, the good thing about this game is everything you can change to your liking. So here we have a list of all the things that can be stored in there. Let's deselect them all. And I just want construction materials to be out here laying on the ground. We don't want to put like food and stuff on the ground. Why? Because food and stuff decays. And when it does, as on the ground, it decays a lot faster. If we can put it under a roof, it won't decay that fast. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to build a little scrap metal shelter for all our food supplies and stuff like that. So we're just going to put this next here. Now this will be one long shelter. It will be open, and in there we can build some storage shelves. Now we have to rotate them so that they can actually access them. But oops, misclicked a bit there. Let's try it again. There we go. Uneven terrain. Well, at least we can build a few. Alright, they're constructing the shelter already. Already the first bed is done. We can even assign who's going to sleep in which bed, which is interesting. I like that. There's so many options that you have. I'm going to try and play speed 2 all the time. Should be nice. Edmund is observing. He's quite the smart one, so that should not take too long. He's constructing the stockpile already, constructing the shelter here. Let's give everybody a bed, so that they all have their own bed. They don't share. Hopefully that makes them happy. We scavenged some materials. They're going to use it to build all of this, which is good. He's now going to observe the leaves here. This is also another plant. Now, I've assigned quite a few jobs. They will do those kind of randomly. But if we really want something to be done, we can just select somebody, right-click here, and then tell them to do what we want to get done. But for now, this is good. Lara is idling. That's not good. She should be observing something then, so that we get to know our surroundings. One of the things I like to do is manage the schedule of the people. Here we can see a basic schedule. They have to do a lot of work, but they also can do some things like sleep. And I like to designate sleep time, so we know that they will get enough sleep. So this is 6 hours of sleep, 7 hours of sleep. That should be fine. And let's copy this, give them all the same schedule, but also give them some relaxation time. And give them some time to relax with each other as well. So we'll set it up like this. Now, I've been playing around with the game a bit, of course. All right, we found big bushes, and now we can get sticks, which is nice. All we need now is make sure that we can somehow get a campfire going. Now, I like to cut these down so that we get some sticks that we can actually use. Now we can click Raka and tell him to start cutting down those leaves or those sticks, and then we can use them. We also see now that this option became available, and he can now start to plant big bushes. So that's how it works. You find something, you observe it, and once you get to know it, you can actually use it. We can also build the campfire now. Build it close to your sleeping place, also for some warmth. That's a good place. And we're now really starting to set up something of a camp. We have a storage here. Now what I like to do is there's no way we can put building materials in there, so that's good already. So all the food and stuff can go in there. As long as no construction materials go in there, I'm happy. We also need to find out what this is, because there seem to be some blueberries or something in there which we might be able to eat, which could be very handy. We need to find food sources. I mean, there's animals that we can probably slaughter, but well, there's also a chance that one of these, I haven't really looked into that, but there is a chance that one of these is actually vegetarian, and then we'll have a problem. Ooh, a thunderstorm. That's not good, because we could get hit by lightning. So we'll have to find a way around that. Constructing a campfire, that's good. Now we have a campfire, we can prepare meals on it. How does that work? Pretty easily. Here we have our meals. As soon as we've unlocked one of these resources, either meat or vegetables or grain, we can start to order those and make sure that somebody goes in and cooks all these meals. Oh, we're scavenging some good stuff out of the pod here. I like that. Now, how can we progress in this game? Well, there's a lot of ways you can do that. One of them is by doing some science, by doing some actual research. We can also set up production things. We can set up a workbench where we can build our materials, build weapons and things like that. A chopping block to chop wood into sticks. There's all these different ways that we can expand. But one of the ways we need to do that is by making sure that we find the right resources. Right now, we don't have any wood yet, so we can't do anything with it. So what I would like to do, for instance, is set these up to be cut down so we get some wood. That will unlock all the wood stuff that we can get, and then we can build a wooden research desk, for instance. Alright, he did some observing here. This one is still scavenging. This one is also still observing the plant. Maybe she can finish it before she goes to bed. That would give us some extra knowledge again. And, well, it's very tempting in the beginning to just go around and hit all the stuff around you, cut it down, make use of the materials in there. But you'll miss out on a lot of stuff that you can't use anymore. For instance, there are bushes out here that give you food. If you don't do that, you can just cut them down. You get some sticks from it, but you never learn about the food. It could well be that these are the only bushes around providing that food that are close by. If you then cut them, you have to go somewhere else to actually find that food again, and that might be very tough. So doing some observations first, we discovered smoke leaves. We can now harvest smoke leaves, we can plant them, we can dry them, and then we can make pipes, which is interesting. We can also boil tea with it. So that's a very useful resource. So it's very good that we just observed this. Now we can not only cut it, we could also harvest it and make sure that we make use of those leaves. So it's very interesting to go take a look around and do the observing around and make sure that everybody learns so that we can use things. Now Edmund is probably already rested. Yeah, so he's now not doing anything. So let's send him out to observe this plant. I hope he doesn't get hit by a thunderstorm. Let's do some actual... Yeah, we can now plant smoke leaves. We're not going to do that, of course. Way too early for farming, but maybe later on we can do that. We can see that Amber is now awake. She is very good at intellect, so she can also do some research. I think she should be the one observing this small tree. That could go pretty fast. The smarter people are... So the more intellect they have, the quicker they can do observations, the quicker they can do research, which is very good. This game is really about optimizing who you use to do what. And this guy's very good at construction. So let's just cut down those 2 trees and make sure that we have some wood. This is almost done. And then hopefully soon... Yeah, she's very happy. She's still filled up with food. She doesn't need to relax. So I think we can observe this too now. Now we've discovered the small broadleaf tree for some wood. And you can now plant them if we really have to. So luckily there is trees around. And there's plenty for a while. But if we would run out, we can just replant them. And get some trees of our own. It will take time for them to grow, of course. But that's okay. Alright, we can see the wood laying around here, so all the wood stuff should now be available to us. And yes, we can now build a wooden research desk. So let's do so. Let's build those pretty close to where we are. We should also build a workbench, because we're going to need to be crafting some materials. And every now and then we get pop-ups for telling us things, so we scavenged some stuff from the landing pod. But there's also cause for a celebration. Let's see. We put together a camp as quick as we could, considering the circumstances. We are not sleeping in the dirt, we have a roof over our heads and a fire to illuminate the dark, uncertain nights. And the most important, we survived. To us, this feels like an achievement worth honoring. We can gather around the campfire and celebrate. Alright, let's do that. Let's get happy. So at 7, it's now 7, so in 12 hours we'll be having a little celebration, being happy that we are still alive. That's great. We can see that Raka is now going to construct a research desk. He's getting the materials he needs. He'll just bring the materials to it. They work very efficiently, so if he has enough wood, he brings the materials to the research desk, to the work desk, then brings the rest back to the storage. And then he will start building those buildings, you can see right here. So this works very well. I like it a lot. Observing the plant, so we'll get more knowledge soon. And now we have those desks. Now it's pretty easy. If we want to do research, we just click it. And now we get things that we can research. For now, we're going to go with the lightning rod. It's a pretty easy thing. It takes 3 hours to research. And once we place it everywhere in the radius, people can't get hit by lightning. That's amazing. Now we can see that Raka is the one going to do some research. But he is not... Yeah, he is okay smart, but not the smartest we have. One way to counteract that and tell people what to do is go to the activities list, click on this simple priorities, and now we can really tell everybody what they should do. Everything has a priority number, priority 1 being the highest priority and priority 5 being the lowest priority. Everything is set to 3. Now if we hover over research, we can see all the research points for all 4 survivors that we have. And I'm just going to tell Edmund that he should be the one doing the research. That means that every time there's research to be done, he will probably go do it. Now you can set all these different things for all the areas that they have knowledge in. I also like to always set a cook. In this case, Raka will be the cook, because I remember that he is interested in cooking. No, he is not. Is Lara interested in cooking then? Nobody's interested in cooking. Okay, well... we'll get either Raka or Lara. In this case, I want to do Lara because Raka, because Lara will do the farming. No, I think I'm going to actually set up Lara to be the one to do the cooking. Now, why do I set up a cook? Well, I don't ever want to run out of food. And for that, we need a cook that continues to make us meals all the time. So let's unpause. We have now discovered a fruit bush, and we can harvest that for bush fruits that we can use into meals. So if we start to do that, we can make veggie soups with those with the berries that we get out of that. So that would be very nice. So let's go see here. There it is. Oh, these are fruit bushes. I don't know if we can actually use those. We're going to harvest them anyway. I want to get those fruits in. Now, the research is done with the lightning rod. And here you can see if we build a lightning rod here now, everybody in that area will be safe from lightning. And I want that, so let's do that. Anything else we need? Well, we're going to need weapons soon, because we need to defend ourselves. So let's go with that. I want to find out more about weapons. And now we are well on our way. Alright, let's cut these 2 trees. Ooh, this one is doing some nice gathering of plants. Did that unlock anything? No. Vegetables, but it doesn't say which vegetables. So it doesn't say that the fruit that we now collected is included. So might be that we got the wrong fruit, but we'll see. Should all be fine. At least they can eat these fruits, so that's good. Where did Lara go? Oh, she's standing right there. Okay. Every now and then they just take a little walk. They do some relaxation. That's all important to them. She's probably on her relax time right now, so that's okay. Edmund's almost done discovering this little plant. Buttermelon. Alright, we've now unlocked the buttermelons. That's another food source that we can use, and we can already see that there are some here ready to be harvested. So let's do so. Let's get some food. If you click on it, you can see how much you get from it. So this is all very good. All full health and stuff, and we get 40 buttermelons out of one of those fields. So with that, we can cook some meals, and I would very much like to do so. So let's make sure that happens. Ooh, we scavenged a lot more stuff. She's transporting all those nice berries. I like that. You can see that they can carry quite a good amount of stuff, so that's also very nice. We're going to leave the fruit bushes. Hopefully we can get another yield out of that. That would be interesting. Could be cutting the smoke leaves, but I don't think so. Alright, did we now unlock anything? No. So the berries are nice, but we can't use them for... Well, we can eat them raw, but we can't cook meals with it. The buttermelon we can actually use for meals. So soon we can get some meals going. That's nice. Right, here we have the overview of the whole area. Ooh, we can see a nice big creature there. Is there anything we don't have yet? Yeah, we don't have something like hay that we're going to need. So let's observe this. We'll get hay out of it. We'll have to find out what it is. And the campfire sitting has started. Now let's see. We can now build veggie soup because we have the buttermelons. I'm going to tell them we have 4 survivors, so I want 8 veggie soups at all times, so they have 2 meals. No, we want 12, because they eat 3 meals a day normally. And I want to provide them with enough food for the whole day to last, so this should be good. This should give us the food that we need. And now they're going to celebrate. Hopefully they stay very happy with that. If they get unhappy, they might melt down and things will go bad and stuff like that. You don't want that to happen, so we need to find ways to keep them happy. You can see how happy they are by the blue background here. Now, if that's completely filled up, like with Edmund, you can see he's really happy. This one is at 73 happiness, and especially if it drops below a certain threshold, mostly 20 or 25, they get really unhappy and they might just melt down or break down or go crazy. So we have to make sure that that doesn't happen. You can see he's eating the berries. That's nice. Now, one of the things I like to do is when we start is to tell our people to not eat too much raw food. Now, luckily there's no meat, so that's this for now. It's okay, but later on I will tell them not to eat raw food. One of the other things they're eating is their emergency rations, and I don't want those to go away. The emergency rations will stay good indefinitely, and I only want to use those in an emergency. So now I tell them that they can only eat them when I tell them again. So right now they cannot touch them. And that way we keep them in such a way that later on we can still use them if we actually have to. But with the buttermelons, and we have 240 buttermelons, we should be able to create quite a few meals. Alright, I'm going to speed a bit up until somebody wakes up. Oh, there Edmund is. He woke up. Good. He will probably start doing some research. Can we craft something? Oh, we could make some bandages to help out. That could be nice, but we don't need those straight away. Let's harvest some more buttermelons. Alright, what are we going to need to do? Well, we need to do some research on other plants and bushes and trees. I mean, this is a big broadleaf tree. We have not done any research on it yet. So let's observe the big broadleaf tree. This is an evergreen tree. Let's observe that too. I really want to get to know my surroundings. Now, as you might have noticed, there's animal life around us. Luckily, most of the animals that we find are peaceful, so we don't have to go after them straight away. But, of course, we're going to need ways to defend ourselves. If we go check that, for instance, with the research, we can see that there are wooden fortifications with towers and walls and gates. So, yeah, I would like to research that. Usually in the beginning it's okay, we can defend any enemies that come our way, but of course later on in the game we really need to start taking care of ourselves. And one way to do that is by making sure that we fence off our area so we can stay safe behind the walls. And that's one of the things that we're going to do later on. So, ooh, we got some nice medical rations or emergency first aid kits. Nice, 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 we can really use that if we ever get into a fight. Lara's now doing the cooking. She will cook 2 meals at a go. So these are the first 2 meals that are ready now. She put them in the storage. It's a new resource, veggie soup. And now we have a good meal to eat, and they don't have to eat raw food. You can see raw food, they don't like it that much. They get a negative bonus from it, so that's not one thing we want. Another thing they really want, I don't care, but they really want, is to sit down while they eat. So let's build a table. Put 4 chairs around it, so at least they can sit down while they eat. They very much like that. Ah, Ember is going to construct that large table. Raka's doing some scavenging. He's pretty good at it, actually. I like that. I don't think he'll come with that. Does it go with this? No, scavenging goes... I wonder which knowledge they use for the scavenging part. I don't know. It's okay. Scavenged 10 emergency rations. That's nice. We're not using them yet, but we still have 63 emergency rations. Weaponsmithing is now researched. We can now start to create some weapons. So if we go to craft weapons, we should be able to craft, for instance, a short bow, which can be very nice. I like to give everyone a bow, so I think we should just make 5, and if people use them or one breaks down, we'll get another one. Now the good thing is we can put in multiple things. So I also like to get some spears. Why? Well, as long as the enemy is at a certain range, they will use their long range weapon. But once it gets in too close, they can't use that anymore. And I would like to give them a melee weapon too. That's why I'm going to do both of those. We're not going to build them straight away, of course. We have only 4 survivors and we have to make do with what we have so far. But in the end, it might work out. Come on, observe that tree. Make sure that we get to know it. We have a short story. We have Edmund, and he likes to write short stories to stay happy and to get peace to his mind. And others can read that, and that will make them happy too. So that's a bonus. That's really nice. That's a way for entertainment. Well, we've discovered some food crops that we can plant later on. We have some non-edibles, we have grasses and bushes, and we have trees discovered. So we're doing good on the discovery front, I think. And we're really scavenging this. Now we've done all the scavenging that we can. Now we need to salvage it, which is something that we have to research later on. But I'm pretty happy with it. So far, I think we're okay. Now, of course, I know some of these plants, so I know what to go for and what to reach for. That the berry plant is very useful, so that we're going to do some observations there. If you're not familiar with the game, just play a few little runs and you get to know the different plants and know what they do, for instance. So then you know already what this plant is and you know whether you need to research it straight away or you can wait a bit. Big evergreen trees, they give us wood. Perfect. Alright, Amber is now scavenging, we have a researcher, we have cooking, and Rocca is going to build us a bow, which is great, because then we have a way to defend ourselves. And then while we are busy doing all these construction works and things like that, it's already day 3, 5 o'clock in the evening, so time goes by pretty fast, even if we play just speed 2, and we're already surviving for 3 days. I think we did quite okay. So let's keep going with it. She's cooking, another meal is ready. We have 12 meals now. We have no other recipes, but that's okay. At least they can eat. In the beginning though, especially if you have a vegetarian along, if you just go out hunting and get all the meat, you can get the meat porridges of course, but you have to make sure that you also get some other types of food. Otherwise, some people won't eat, and that's obviously not good for them. So, let's harvest some smoke leaves. Now we need to dry those smoke leaves. So let's get a drying rack. I don't know if they can actually put the smoke leaves in there too, but I hope so. I don't think so though. Let's just build a drying rack in case we get some meat. They need to dry the meat, and they can do that on a drying rack. We'll get 2 actually. So... and for the hides too, and that will make sure that they stay good for longer, so there's less decay with the food. Serving the berry plant, very good. Well, everybody's being very productive. We're getting the wooden fortifications research done. Now that's a tough one. I like to build a good defended base, but it's going to cost us a lot of wood, and that's going to cost us a lot of work. So... basically, we're going to cut down whole forests just to get enough wood to be able to build those fortifications. But yeah, we're going to do it because it's the only way to stay safe in this environment, and I really want to stay safe. Did the weapon already get done? No. Okay, well, hopefully it'll get done soon. They're going to sleep, ate raw food. I think we should tell them all to not eat raw food anymore. We now have the cooked meals, so there is no need for them to eat raw food. And they don't like raw food, so this should make them already more happy. We can see already gloomy personality. That's one of his troubles. They like to eat at a table, so that's a good thing. C ate raw food, -6, so that's not good. So yeah, we don't want them to eat the raw foods. Okay, now they have to research this. And from there on we should be okay. So let's wait. Edmund is usually the one that wakes up the fastest because he gets the best sleep usually. And when he does, he can continue by observing this tree. So we know all the trees and we can chop down a few more. And that way we can really start to work on getting the fences up, I think. Alright, let's keep harvesting those plants. The more food we have, the better it is. We have enough raw food for 63 meals, but, well, food won't last forever. We can see right here, if we hover over this, you can see its shelf life. Outside it's 12 days, under a roof it's 36 days, and refrigerated it's 54 days. But it's not game days, because it's now under a roof, but it will not last 36 days. There's no way that happens. So we'll have to make sure that it stays good for a very long time. This will only stay good for a few days, as you can see here. So the veggie soup has a pretty short shelf life. You have to freeze it to make it go indefinite, but well, we're quite away from the freezer. Alright, Edmund's doing some research, but I want you to observe this tree first. You can do your research later on. That's fine. Amber is reading a short story. She should be liking that, so that should be interesting. Raka's getting happy because he can do some construction work. That's why I like to keep him occupied with construction. Ooh, plus 18 for reading a short story, and she gets inspiration from it. That's great. So yeah, we kind of settled down. We now live something of a peaceful life. We'll probably be disturbed soon by some creatures or whatever attacking us, but so far it's not that bad. Let's just make sure that we get some extra sticks out of here that we can use for construction and for keeping the fires going, because the fire will need sticks to keep going as fuel. So let's get some extra sticks. Harvesting the smoke leaves, that's good. Oh, they're not getting a lot out of them. 5 smoke leaves for each thing. Well, it's something. Alright, transporting them now. She's picking them all up. She's going to put them on the drying rack. Yeah, so now they'll be hanging here to dry. And that will make sure that they stay good for longer. So that's good. I like that. Takes quite a while before they are actually dried. You can see only 1%. And it takes actually a long time, but once that's done, that's really good. This one is harvesting. These are going to cut more trees. They will just cut the trees. You can see the wood laying around. They will pick that up later on, as soon as they need it, and right now we don't. Ooh, we found another tree. That's great. So that's research now too. Let's designate this for chopping down as well. And that should provide us with quite a bit of wood. And now we just wait for the wooden fortifications to be ready. We can start to defend this little idyllic place. Now there's 2 ways of going with that. We can either just fence this area off, or we just go big straight away, because I think we need to go build some constructions at a certain point with housing and things like that. And we might just fence off a big area straight away. But it's really a trade-off. I think we're going to start small this time. We'll just build a small defendable area. Outside that we can do a lot of construction. And once we've built something that we really need to use, then we can always expand our little fortification area. So that's probably how we're going to do it. Alright, they're really eating the meals. They enjoy it. They like to eat a good meal. Although this really doesn't look that well. All that green, but it should probably be good. Maybe we can see, yeah, he had a quick meal, plus 6. He likes that, so that makes him happy. Now, so far, I'm pretty happy with this. Let's see, because Amber is not doing anything. And I actually want her to go check out this bush, because we need to get some hay for some leisure things that they can do at a certain point. So let's get working with that. I want to cut these bushes so that all the areas around us get cleared. I like that too. And then, oh, Lara is sitting. Well, that's just relaxation time, which is good. They should relax every now and then. She's now going to cook again, because we have to refill the stock of meals, of course. Wow, the research is almost done. I like that. I really want to get going with some defenses. How good is she? Well, she's pretty fast. It's already at 30%. So she's doing a good job observing that. That's why I want to bring smart people in, because they can do these things really fast. He's now going to cut the bushes. And we still have plenty of food. Now, why am I not just making meals? Well, that's the difference for the shelf life. We can see that this has a shelf life of 36 days under the roof, and the meal will only stay good for a very short period of time. So they will have to eat a lot if we want to make sure that it doesn't decay. Now, if you zoom in, you can see how much is in there, by the way. Research wooden fortifications, perfect. So these plants will stay good there for very long, and once we need them, we can use them for cooking. If we cook them all straight away, we end up in trouble, because we won't be having a lot of food for a very long time. Alright, let's start constructing a little bit of defenses. Now we have to construct some defenses all around the camp, not just at one point. So we'll have to make defenses out here too. I think we should go past the stockpile here. So let's go see how we can actually do that. I think we should do it somewhat like this. Then go here. And then go up here. Alright, this could be interesting. We can see that we don't have enough materials. We also need to create a gate, of course. or maybe multiple gates. I think I want to create 3 gates so that they can get in from all 3 sides. I don't think we have to get in from up here. And now they will start to construct this. Now we can see that we have an insufficiency of materials, but as soon as they keep cutting trees, that number will drop, so that's good. We've discovered blade grass for hay. That's nice. Now we can get some hay if we want to. So let's just tell them to cut the blade grass to get some hay as well. And now they'll all be cutting down trees to make our defenses. But how that will look and how we will proceed from there on will be for later. Oh, I think I misclicked here. What's this? Yeah, this is a fence gate. That's not good. I wanted to get the other gate. We need to get the fortified gate, of course. This is better. Well, yeah, we did not create this one before. Luckily, I found out that I got the wrong one. So now we can put in the right gate. All right, that's it. So that worked out. Well, how this is going to look, we'll see next time. At least we got us off to a nice start. Still a long way to go, of course, but well, we did something. They're all going to sleep now, so that's good. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any tips or tricks for me to help me have a good run with this game, please leave them in the comment section. I will respond to them. And then, of course, I hope to see you in a brand new video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.